What's going on, everybody? Today's gonna be a little more prep for Trail Hero. Got to get my Jeep finished up. Just have a few small things, get everything put back in it. Harness tabs. I'm gonna do a headliner in the roof. Got the roof panel cut out the other night. So I'm gonna do some upholstery on the bottom side. I gotta add some gussets right here. Possibly do a rear harness bar. I don't really need the rear harness bar right now, just because my daughter's in a car seat, so just need to figure out a way to secure the seat in the back. And then harness tabs for the front seats. Mount the sound bar somewhere. And then get this thing all cleaned up and ready to go for next week. And the shop needs a little cleaning up because there's another goat built car got dropped off the other day and there's parts just kind of scattered everywhere. So we're going to be doing the same thing that we did to this one. So all the parts for this car showed up and now we got to figure out a place to put them all. So this is going to be the first time I've ever done this upholstery stuff. I got this like spray on adhesive that I'm going to see how that's going to work on the bottom side of this aluminum panel. And then I got some diamond stitch fabric. Just some black diamond stitch stuff. So we'll roll that on to the bottom side of the panel and see how it looks. And you know what? I just made the executive decision to spice up this panel just a little bit. I think I'm gonna throw a bead roll in there. I just did 16 gauge on this just to provide some shade, but I think we might spice it up and throw a bead roll in it. It'll stiffen up that panel just a little bit, give it a little more rigidity. And then I may tank roll the edge just to kind of give it some tension into the top of the tube. The whole panel was drawn center line of the tube, but I think with just adding a slight tank roll all the way around the edge, one, it's going to add rigidity, and two, it's just going to like hold tight when you fasten it down to the tube. And then I'll add like a perimeter bead roll around the whole thing. I think it'll make it look just a little better, not just a flat panel. So when I was welding on all these panel tabs, used my little panel tab jig that has magnets in it to hold the panel tabs in place. And then I usually just run a piece of either aluminum or stainless so that the magnet doesn't stick to it. Just hold the panel tab up against the top of that piece in line with the top of the tube, and then throw a tack on that side, move this out of the way, throw a tack on that side, and then your panel tab is nice and flush with the tops of the tube. Just makes it a lot easier. So these are on the website in different sizes. This one's for 1 3/4 inch, but we got them all the way from 2 inch to 1 inch. So grab yourself a panel tab jig. Makes putting panels on a lot easier. So now that I've got my layout marked out on the bottom of my panel, I just did a 4-inch offset all the way around, and I'm just gonna do a step roll all the way around this perimeter. It'll strengthen up this panel quite a bit. So whenever you're marking these out, oh, I just realized I forgot one. But whenever you're marking these out, you have to be mindful of which side of the panel you're marking, because your dies are gonna sit in the bead roller one way, so you want to make sure that the side that's going to step up and the side that's going to push down is the way that you want it to be. So since the tank roll die is already in there, I'm going to tank roll the whole perimeter, and then I'll do the step roll after. But with how these dies are set up, make sure I want to have the bottom of my panel up, because it's going to roll that edge up with the bottom die. So this is the bottom side of my panel. It's going to roll this edge up, which when we flip it over, it's going to be rolled down into the top of the tube. So it's just going to be a super slight tank roll all the way around, but it'll just hold some tension on the panel when it's fastened down. Well, I hope that was absolute comedy for you guys to watch, because I learned a very valuable lesson today. Do not attempt a whole roof panel by yourself. I am super stubborn, and I try to do everything by myself, so wait for a buddy. I think it turned out pretty good for being by myself and struggling as much as I did, but yeah, definitely wait for a friend. I think it turned out pretty good. The lines are pretty straight. Corners are good. The Nylatron dies instead of the steel dies on aluminum make the corners blended a lot nicer. So the corners look good, but yeah, I struggled pretty bad on this panel. So there's a reason why bead rolling costs so much, because it is not easy, and if it's a big panel, definitely takes two people. Two words that do not go together: simple, bead roll. So let's throw this panel on the car and see how we did. So I ended up having to throw a couple more fasteners on there. There were just some high points, and then I tank rolled the edge again. There was just a couple spots that were high, and there still kind of is. It's not perfect, but I think that looks a lot better just with that tank roll on the edge pressing up against the tube. I think that looks a lot better than just a straight edge. The fabric on the bottom side will kind of fill the gap a little bit, and then it'll crush it down. So we'll see how it looks after, but I think the bead roll on the top turned out pretty good. Don't know that it was worth all that effort, but I think it looks pretty cool. All right, well, it's gonna be a little bit of a weird timeline in this video. I didn't finish filming yesterday. Today's now Monday morning, so we're supposed to leave for Trail Hero tomorrow morning, and I got still a bunch more things I need to do to this thing. The shop's a mess, so I'm gonna have to clean up today. Got to do some stuff on my trailer, and try to get ready to leave tomorrow morning. I left off the other day, got the bottom fabric on. Kind of hard to see. Got the bottom fabric on. Think it turned out pretty decent. Some of the roof has some high spots still. Kind of bummed out about that, but I think overall it looks pretty decent. Bead roll turned out cool. Definitely stiffened up the roof a little bit. But the fabric on the bottom doesn't make any noise or anything, so good enough for me. Added the gussets and the B-pillar like I had talked about. Put the back seat in. Ended up doing a umbrella mount in the corner so I can have the umbrella up right here. But I think that's just about it. Oh, and I gotta change the oil, because, you know, I should probably do some actual maintenance too. So hopefully we get all those things knocked out today and ready to leave tomorrow morning. Finally got the WJ out of here, so that was nice to get that out of here. The Toyota is almost done, so that's going to be leaving soon. So we're going to be opening up some shop space here. Thomas was nice enough the other day to get some B-roll of the WJ before it left, so throw a little bit of that in here. So thanks, Thomas, for that. Thank you guys for watching. Keep it classy, and I'll see you guys next time.